ọmọ Nàìjíríà aṣíwájú ti dé àwa gbà oríire ti dé.
For all those warriors, all those people that labored for Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu, we appreciate you. All those who labored for Manchester to be known, I thank you very much. It's not about me, it's about all of us. I'm your servant. I'm here to serve you, I'm here to make us better. And the objective is to make us a better community.
Because we know where we're coming from and because we want things better for people back home. And that's where we here are beginning to come together, to put heads together, to drive those initiatives back home.
Between the London Massive and the Northern Powerhouse, there has to be a synergy. And that is why I really, really thank you guys for inviting us. To me, it's an honor to be here.
Honestly, with what I met today, as far as APC Manchester is concerned, I'm so delighted, I'm happy. I see the numbers, I see the caliber of people here. It erased every doubt in my mind that yes, we have a very solid people here.
Today's meeting with the London APC, the official London APC, registered one that we all are aware of, was a fantastic synergy of ideas and clarification in terms of what's happening in the United Kingdom with the APC. I think today's time with the chairman, J.K. Adebola, was something that we should do more often, and we hope that this is the beginning of greater things for Manchester as well.
I really find this meeting with the APC here in Manchester as one that is very, very symbolic. It's a start of something great to come. As Lagosians, we always look at a greater Lagos rising, and we want to see a greater relationship between Lagos and Manchester, the APC in UK, London and Manchester. Let it be harmony, let it be unity. Let's come together and ensure that this vision of a renewed hope becomes a reality. The diaspora plays an integral role in world national development. I actually believe they're the catalyst to social change, to attitudinal change, and also to development, infrastructure, medical in Nigeria and even globally. But we have to come together. We have to see ourselves as that driving force. And I believe now is the time, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for us to work together as one, because he has diasporic blood in his veins and wants to see the diaspora being included in government.
I'm here at the APC Summit meeting today, and it's been fantastic. We've had great ideas, and it's been interesting. The feedback we have gotten from the leadership and also from the people, the general public, has been an amazing one. I feel welcome here, and I feel we have a lot to contribute in partnership with the Nigerian leadership and what we do in Greater Manchester. It'll be nice to work with ourselves in the future.
I'm here in Manchester, just to see our brothers and sisters, and I must say I'm really, really impressed with what I've seen them do. They are even more formidable than I thought they were, and with every feeler that we've got from the meeting today, I think I'm hopeful for the future, especially for the intended synergy that we want to happen between APC UK and APC Manchester. I'm sure the only way is up for both of us now, and from now on we will be working together. And since we have the assurance that we are both for each other, obviously the only way is up.
Right, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure having every one of you here. Everyone is looking younger than me. Wow. It's quite an amazing one, an interesting one. The MC is still on his way coming. So, like we all know, to be a leader, you have to serve. And as a clergyman, this part of service, the team has pushed me to this. All of them were just looking at me when our dear brother hasn't made it here on time. So because of time, we are people who keep to time. We have visitors who have traveled since morning all the way from the other side of the country to join us today. So we wouldn't want to keep them more than expected. So I think before we start, We are people who sojourn from a place, and we have culture. And that culture, not because we're in diaspora, we have to omit that. We will always reverence the man who made it possible for us to be alive today. Whether you serve whatever God, you still call God. So this moment, I will create your indulgence, every one of us. Let us pray to God, not to man. And I will appreciate, only for medical reasons, if you can sit, but let us stand and pray to God, because without him, we will not be here today. We shouldn't take anything for granted. There are many who begin this year with us. They are no more here. It's not because you're perfect or you've done anything right more than them. It's because God has a purpose for you. And as we pray, I am praying in the name of God. So it's a paramount way to pray when you have many facets, religions around. Almighty and everlasting Father, Father, we thank you, we honor you, we glorify your name. We cannot thank you enough for such a beautiful day. And most especially, we call you to come and take the highest seat in this gathering today, that as we deliberate into this meeting today, Father, every spoken word will be spoken with grace, and every word that we're going to be reciprocated will be reciprocated with grace. Father, and for our members who are here to come, are still on their way, may you guide every one of them in the mighty name of God, we pray. And as we gathered here today, at the end of this meeting, and those who have journeyed from all the way from London and every other part of the United Kingdom, they will return back in peace and join their family, and accidents will not befall them in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we thank you because we have experienced your victory. I remember many months we are here and we start with prayer, and one thing we said, at the end of it, we will have cause to glorify, and we can see the evidence. And the reason why we are here today is because there's been a victory, and that victory we'll celebrate it to the highest in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we thank you for the meal that we're going to be eating today. The men and women who has worked tirelessly behind the scene to put this together, Father, may they never know lack in the mighty name of Jesus. As we have gathered here for one purpose, and that purpose only, will we focus today. In Jesus' mighty name, we've prayed. Amen. Thank you, everyone. I was looking at my time. I timed myself. So I said I will hit it on 3 minutes, and I did it. Wow. It's an awesome one. I will first of all introduce myself. My name's Reverend Francis Mountainfly. I'm a residence pastor in the UK Anglican Missionary Congregation. 8 years ago, we started with one reverend. Today, we're 40, and we're all over the world. So that's me in a nutshell. If you want to Google me, you can Google me. And if you want to LinkedIn me, you can LinkedIn me. So I'm a living person. You know, when you go into computer, the new thing that the security guys have started doing now, they will ask you, are you a human or a robot? So I'm a human, I'm not a robot. So when I speak from a place of a human things. So somebody was cracking a joke. They said there are two kinds of people live in Nigeria now. There are living things and not living things. So you should choose the one you are. So I choose to be a living thing. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. You guys look amazing. Beautiful people, nice faces, you know. I've introduced myself, and we'll begin to introduce our able chairman, a man. No, a man. No, man. Our able chairman, yeah. One and only, the Honorable David Adeoye. Please, can we clap for this guy? Clap for him. Thank you, David. When you hear David, the name David is synonymous to a great king. And you know what Davids can do. And over my lifetime, I've been waiting to meet David, who are taller than me. And I've never seen any. That's so shocking. And when you look at the history of David in the Bible, my daughter said, Daddy, do you know he's a short guy? You know the excitement she was saying it. I'm thinking, is it the David or the short? Which one was the excitement? He said, he's a short guy. You know, I've just found out. And he's a king. I said, yes, God does not move by size. So let us be rest assured, because I don't want to lose weight.
It's our own day with shorts too.
Let us be honest. It's either you're tall or you're short. So, am I right? It's either you're tall or you're short. It's either you're short and you're tall. There is no in between. Or is that you're alive or you're dead. It's only in Nigeria you have in between stuff. Oh. Someone says if I'm not living on an island, I will live on mainland. And if I'm not living on both of them, I will stay on the inland. So it's only in Nigeria I know people live in inland though. So thank you very much. And also, I would like to welcome our very own APC chairman in the United Kingdom in the honor of the chairman, Barrister J.K. Adebola. Please, can we put a hand together for him? It's an honor to have you here, sir. And also, I will welcome our National Public Secretary, Mr. Jacob Ogunsheye. And joining us today is the Deputy Chairman of the Southeast APC, in the name of Mr. Chris Ike Onu Noma. Because of time, I will pass the microphone across so everybody will introduce themselves. Please take the honor to introduce yourselves so we'll know who is here, and it will help us possibly best address you. And the reason why I'm saying so, I've gone for an occasion. I don't have anything with title, Somebody addressed me, he said, mountain fly. I stood up and I raised my hand. And the next person beside me, they called him John Emeka. He was sitting down. The MC was confused. When you're looking at John Emeka, he was confused. When I asked him, I said, Mr. John, why are you not standing up? He said, that's not my name. You need to put that one that comes with it. I said, which one? I was confused as well. He said, I don't go school now. You don't see them go put PhD. The way they call that guy doctor. So I said, is that the problem? He said, yes. I called the MC. I said, please add PhD. And when they call John Emeka PhD, he said, present. So, and for that reason, everybody will be happy. So I don't come to the double chief and I call him single chief. He may pick offense. Double chief. The mic, this one. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is I Chief Olagoke Olagosu. I happen to be one of the convener and organizer of the APC Manchester, a very strong member of the APC UK.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Larry Agbedu, a strong member of APC in the UK and Nigeria.
Good evening. In the light of what High Chief said, I think I should introduce myself properly.
Here we go.
I am the Otun Fiwagoye of Abuja land. I am the Otunbisi of people, who kingdom. So I'm Otuna, best man, is it? Prominent APC member.
Thank you.
Let him add that the fact that it's not even in Yoruba and
Okay.
By the person to that yes, I hold true traditional. In the next few weeks, you guys will come for the installation of Are Omolua of Arakitu very soon.
Thank you. You want to speak people? You forget that one for Nasarawa. You don't go out now. Oh, you don't want to collect that title as well. Oh, one after the other. Can you introduce yourself to us, sir?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ike Inegbedion. I'm not a strong member, I'm a soft member. Although I contested the election under APC, that's maybe a soft member by the way. But I live in the UK, and I've been here for like 28 years.
So you are joining us. You see, no, you are joining this group. There is something about Nigerians I love so much. In every situation, they will make something out of it. You see, which one be soft member? Tomorrow now I go here, I'm a soft member plus. So I've learned new one. APC soft member, you're welcome.
Thank you. My name is Councillor Oladinubu. I'm the councillor for Trafford and Carrington in Manchester. I'm invited here today by my humble friend, and I'm happy to be with you. I'm an APC member in Nigeria, and it would be nice to be a part of you in Manchester here.
Wow, thank you very much. See, when you see, when, oh yeah, add more things.
Okay, I think so. My brother is here as well and knows me very well. So I was invited to be an observer in the Nigerian election by the UK government, and I was able to represent us. And everything went smoothly, even though I know people have been shouting foul. There's no foul play. Thank you.
You see, that's why I say Nigeria have anything. He added foul. Somebody says foul plus. So.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dukre Layola. Let me use my brother's words here. A soft member of
Oh, God.
APC UK and a secretary to Ashwadu Campaign Manchester branch. That's APC as well. So that's my daughter here, Ambella Ayola, and my wife.
So, soft member plus, soft member plus plus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Stand up now, Dogu.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adomi Ansa. I coordinate a group called My Green Gene. It's a motivational heritage platform that celebrates people of Nigerian heritage across the globe. And we've been running it for over, since 2015. That's over how many years now? 8 years. 8 years. So we'll be celebrating our 9 years next year. And we'll invite you. Also part of the APC Manchester. We're in London recently to get our chairman installed and elected. Yes. So I hope we have a good.
Are you a strong or soft member?
I would say I'm a strong Buaris and Baptist.
Doctor.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Olaoluwa Vincent. I'm a member of the Global Alliance for BOLATINUBU. I'm one of the key stakeholders here. I'm the general overseer. I'm general secretary. I'm also the key member of the Ashwadu Campaign Marshal, which is going to be honorable secretary. Apart from that, I'm also the general secretary of the Nigeria Manchester stakeholder. I'm one of the key organizers of this event.
You see, I don't know how to put it. He's like the coolest doctor ever. I just want to come and meet, if I'm sick, I will come and meet you. I'll be telling you my prescription. Doctor, see you. I want this, and you must write it. I know now. Don't worry. I know. Don't worry. I know. Don't worry. Don't worry, I will introduce him first before he introduces himself.
And it is good to be able to pronounce that name properly here, to say Fashan, because at work, the fact that I'll try to tell them to call it the way it is, without saying Habi, because my name is Habi Bola. And so, taking them another journey to say Fashan, I feel like, okay, it's punishment. So, I will call it differently, and I will say Fasan, or Fasana, or something like that. And yeah, I am the founder, Best Belief Scholarship and Hope Foundation, registered in the UK and in Nigeria. I am an Ashwaju baby, and that's all I'm going to say. And to crown it all, one of the reasons that I want to be part of this gathering is I am a data governance specialist, meaning that I've seen quite a lot of things that do happen in Nigeria. We want to do quite a lot of things, but we don't put so many things into perspective. And yes, so I want to make sure that if I'm here, at least I could put my own input to say that we have to kind of be thinking of our environment when we are making decisions. How are people going to perceive this? And if you're not going to take anything from everything I've blabbed about, just think about the word pestle, which means that when you are creating anything in any country, in any situation, you have to think of the political influence, you have to think of the environment, the social influence, you have to think of everything. And just make sure that when we are creating any policy, we are thinking about the people that are going to be using that policy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The only thing that I picked out from everything she said that resonated with me, she said, I'm a Shuaju baby. Since we have APC soft, we have a Shuaju baby. By the time we finish today, something else will come up. The reason why I said I will introduce him last, I don't want to sing his glory. This man, it's not planned. I invited him. Many, many years back in Manchester, maybe 13 years ago, there's a need for somebody to head an organization. And he rang me. He said, I am with those people, and I want you to come and head. If you're not coming, I will pull out. I said, small me. Coming into that organization, it has changed a lot of things in my life and my family. He doesn't say much, because if I give him the phone, he will tell his name and he will sit down. He holds a reputable and strong positions in the Igbo community in Greater Manchester. Not just only one, multiple. In my 2027 mission, I don't have to look for somebody who's going to be my secretary on that. I told him, I said, you will drive this, and this is why I want you. MSG is Mountain Fly Support Group for 2027, Enugu, and it's live. So we're doing a lot. And he is the brainchild behind the whole thing. And also, his name is Oba Kes Onowu One na Manchester. So I will give him mic, let him introduce himself the way he wants. Don't feel embarrassed.
My name is Mr. Mr. When I said Oba, Igbo still answer Oba. Oba in Igbo land means barn. You know where you put the yams. In Yoruba land, maybe the king, or maybe the king. Ours, we celebrate it as the yam, the barn. Maybe then, when you are very good in doing it on farming, you go by that name, I don't know. I'm here representing the Mountain Fly Support Group, MSG, Manchester. I don't want to feel, and I'm very sure I'm not on the wrong place. I'm at the right place. Seeing the men around and seeing my man, I follow him. I know him a long time. I picked him up, not because of his quality, what goodness or whatever. You could see something in a person, no matter whoever he comes from. Follow that person. Tell him, if it's a light, put that light up. Follow him. Most of the organizations I represent, either he's our leader, or next to the leader, or he's our chaplain. When I follow him sheepishly, because I know he knows where he's going. That's where I'll leave it for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. They told me you're coming, and that's why I said, let me hand this over to you. You tell us your name, where you're coming from, and why you're here. Are you APC child? Ashiwaju's son? He said he's coming now. So you told us now. So introduce yourself to us. Let us clap for him. Yeah.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, honorables, our chairpersons, I really, came here to do one thing, just to say thank you. A big thank you for all what you are doing, what all you did in times past. I'm sure one or two of you may know me here, but just for the sake of introduction, my name is Jermaine Sonwolu. I led diaspora and foreign relations to the governor of Lagos State from 2019-2023. And in that role, I just have to interface between diaspora and also the people of Lagos State, and people like you who are great, who are party people, who have the power, as we have realized now that politics is local and politics is where the power truly lies. You guys were outstanding. I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause if you haven't done that already. I know in London that is a major base for all political rallies within the UK and all, but Manchester coming out and standing out and saying, you know what, we want to have an identity, we want to do something constructive, we want to be progressive, we want to harmonize our efforts and unite to do something great for the great people of Lagos, but most especially Nigeria. I'm not speaking on behalf of Asiwaju, but I'm sure he's grateful and he's thankful for you. But on behalf of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, I want to say a very, very big thank you. We couldn't have done it without your support, your online campaigning, your voices being heard. It was a strong voice, and I believe you published it in the newspaper too. That went a long way. So, as they would say in Nigeria or in Lagos, that Igbega, Iklenko, Ajimosheni, it's all our work. Both of us, we must do it together, all of us. And as we were saying in Yoruba also, that Eshe Goni, Adupeo, Eshe.
Thank you very much. I know Jermaine was like, who told you I was coming? Do you know what my title is? I'm a spiritual man. So you don't need to tell me that I know you're already here. So everything caught you by surprise, Abby. Thank you very much. And before we go into the next phase of this meeting today, apologies, I'm not the MC, so I'm just catching up. I'm just a servant, so bear with me. When I throw you jokes, take it with good-hearted, because I love you all, and I have you at heart. Ashiwaju, baby. Wow. So I have to pick things, and I have to make them go viral some way, somehow, like APC soft. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. The next on the agenda this evening is a welcoming speech by our very own chairperson here, Mr. David Adeoye. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Let us encourage people. It's not easy.
Hello. Good evening. I'd like to welcome all of you for being here today. It's very satisfying to see a lot of people here. Sometimes when you call your friends, you call members, you don't get many people coming out. But today, I appreciate the fact that some people actually were told very late, but they're still here today. So I also like to appreciate, obviously everybody was told the different things. I want to appreciate Major, I want to appreciate Otumba for starting this thing with me. But I also want to appreciate Reverend Martin Fly. Even though we have our own thing here, he's a vice president, a vice chairman of our own stakeholders forum as well. So please give him a hand for him as well, please. Thank you. I don't like to talk too much. I love listening. When we were coming here, I was listening to an elder. I was listening to the APC chairman, UK, and I also listened to his deputy here and also the public secretary as well. So I was trying to gauge and understand what they were saying. But my message and my welcome message here is about unity. The mission from the beginning was about bringing the Northwest, Greater Manchester together, harmonizing our efforts to make Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu reach the heights or the objectives which they set out to do in the first place. We came out full force. Some of us went to Nigeria as well, and we did 2 or 3 conferences here as well, and we made sure we put in newspapers, we had interviews in Nigeria, making sure that our voices are heard in Manchester. We're an amalgamation of many platforms, many supporters, but just as my brother said here, harmonizing our voices into one voice, it makes sense. The unity of the people in the Northwest, the unity of the people in the Greater Manchester is paramount to success. We can't do it alone. If we're 20, 30 people, if we come together as one, we're stronger. We can't be broken easily. And I keep saying to people that apart from just this political aspect, which we're here about today, it's about also completing the mission statements which we started at in the first place. If you remember when we started, we said we wanted to bring people to Manchester. Today, in fact, today is part of the promises we made that we said we will bring people in London to hear our voices. So please, give us a clap, please. Because today, we have brought the chairman of APC UK to Manchester, as promised. We want to hear his voice, make him understand, he has already, but we want to make him understand that, look, we are part of the movement in the United Kingdom, that even though it's happening in London, the Northwest is a powerhouse. And we want you to realize that we want to be fed as well, both commercially, because in values, in practically everything. And I keep saying it over and over again. Politics is not just about being known. It's about being heard. It's about service. We are here to serve the Greater Manchester people, the communities. If we do it right, the people in Manchester, in the Northwest, can actually be better after all, after we come through conferences, discussions, and how we can bring things here. Already, as promised before, we are trying to bring the passport office back to the north as well, to have a consulate here. Work is ongoing in that. Obviously, I don't like to say too much, but I can guarantee you work is ongoing. I don't say this lightly, but as we said before, we worked on the fact that we got our honourable chairman here today, and we appreciate him a lot. The fact that he even hearkened to our call, it shows a mark of respect to the Northwest. And I want to clap for him, please. Thank you very much, Your Honour, for being here today, and for making the fact that today is the first time being in Manchester. I think you've been here for over 20 years in England, and the first time in Manchester, so obviously that means it's a big deal for him to come here this first time. I'm going to finish off by saying, for all those warriors, all those people that labored for Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu, we appreciate you. All those who labored for Manchester to be known, I thank you very much. It's not about me, it's about all of us. I'm your servant. I'm here to serve you, I'm here to make us better. And the objective is to make us a better community. We have the Asians, we have the Chinese. We need to be like that, if not bigger. And the truth is, it starts from us being together. And I keep saying it, and if you call on me, I will always do anything to help one of our members. That's a promise. I don't say things lightly, and I will continue doing it. Even if it's my last penny, I'll continue doing it. As long as Manchester, the Greater North, is enjoying the benefits of our association with APC, it's important to me as well. I'm a card-carrying member, and I'm also an avid member as well. I went to Nigeria for the campaign, so I was there, and I don't just say things, I'm a person of action. I will put my time, my finances, and my beliefs in what I do. So please, I want you to thank you very much for giving us the time. And thank you also for the Nigerian Stakeholder Forum as well. We're 12 of us, and we're trying to make things different in this community. Thank you very much for the time, and God bless you all.
Please, can we clap for Mr. Chairman? Let us clap now. It's not easy. It's not an easy task. I've learned how to speak Nigerian English, and the reason was when I was ordained as a priest in England, I tried to impress my members by speaking like an English person. At the end of the service, somebody said, "Reverend, honestly, I know hear what you talk." So in essence, I've spent 1 hour of my life telling you about Christ in a phonetic way, and the person did not catch it. And the good thing about it is that he told me, if he didn't tell me, I would continue speaking in my Queen's English. I know you people are thinking, where is Reverend going? I told you I'm not your MC, so I'm trying to catch up. Delaying, waiting for the MC to come so I can sit down and prepare myself for the night. But first of all, I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. When I was called to join the Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu support group in Manchester here by my very own brother, my very own Major, Adewumi Adisa. Wow. And he called me. In fact, he published something and I sent him a message. I say, in Manchester, how dare you? How come? He said, Maoga, I did sorry. Please forgive me. I said, why wouldn't I forgive you? Because now I will always forgive, because I'm the servant of the Lord. So I joined this movement. Turning up the very first day, I just sneaked in. I want to hear what they have to offer. When I said what they have to offer, I don't just turn up. I don't just waste my time. But when I hear the vision, when I hear the pursuit for better governance in Nigeria, I said, that's all for me. Because we know where we're coming from, and because we want things better for people back home, and that's where we here are beginning to come together, to put heads together, to drive those initiatives back home. We are okay. I was speaking to him today. I said some of us can retire here, never go back home, but that's not who we are made of. We all know where we're coming out from. I'm a Sulere boy, a proper Ijesha boy, and that's a Mushin guy, and we must have crossed the same paths, When I was passing in Mushin, he said, "Ah, Nyomo Jesha, and Igbabio." I said, "For where? That would be the real Jesha." You know, many, many years back. And we're here in Manchester sharing the same vision to go back to the same place that we all migrated from. And that's why I said to them, I said, I will give it all that I have, not 99, 100. And today we are here. And everything that David has said, I knew him. If it wasn't true, I won't follow. It's true. I won't follow. And I have seen the sacrifice from every member here. The midnight call, the late nights staying, the conversation when it's not obtainable, when it's not convenient, we are gathering, we are meeting, we are mobilizing. I stayed every situation room in AMC, in APC. I was there, you know, bringing people, talking to people, making sure, why am I doing that? Not because of I am not okay in Manchester or we are not okay in Manchester. Because there are people that need our voice. There are people that need us. Think home. That's why I tell everybody, I say, think home. When I go to Sulere today, when I go to Ijesha, and I see the life that I've affected, and I ask myself, I was once like them in these streets working, going to Ijesha Tedo Primary School, going to Ijesha Tedo Secondary School, you know, walking down to Unilag, you know, trekking from Ijesha to Akoka. Do you know? And I ask myself, how can I make an impact? How can I raise one child from that neighborhood that tomorrow he can stand and say, I am from here. Today, look at me. And we've seen that in the life of Raji. We've seen a lot of great men come out of, you know, where they don't have enough. We can speak good English, drive good car, have good degrees, but think about one person that you can affect their life that can never pay you back. That is my message. We're not just here to celebrate the APCs. No. Before I give the APC chairman the mic, that is the message. Our idea is grassroots. We need to go back and lift men and lift women. When we say we have become the North powerhouse, it is true. Manchester is the northern powerhouse. And I can tell you, when he said that, I've never told anybody. I read the Forbes this morning, and I hear Manchester, the northern powerhouse, representing Manchester, was my daughter in Forbes magazine. And I said, wow, so Manchester is this powerhouse, and you repeat the same thing. So, Chairman, when you people gather in London, remember us. We are the northern powerhouse, and we have proven ourselves by our action. And I will give the chairman to admonish us with a speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I feel honored and I feel blessed to be amongst my people, the progressives. But first of all, while we were talking, I was doing a bit of brainstorming. And I remembered that we managed to dodge a bullet this week, and we haven't seemed to celebrate it. The tribunal made a mockery of the wishy-washy petition that was made against our president. Anybody who, I didn't have the time to listen to it, but the reason for that was simply because I knew they had no case. And I knew that long from the moment that I read their petition, which I believe even a 100-level law student would have done a better job. And to think that was done by 50 senior advocates of Nigeria, it shows that what you voicemail. So let us give a loud round of applause for Nigeria and Tinubu for that victory. Let me just do a bit of, because just talk, I love, she says she's Tinubu's baby. I'm Tinubu's man. Because the thing is, if you have, I just want to use that as a bit of a digress, just to warm us up, for us to understand the reason why we are APC and progressives. If you have met Tinubu, I was talking to the chairman this afternoon, that if you met Tinubu, if you liked Tinubu before, the moment you meet Tinubu, trust me, you will never be the same again. Because he's such a man who, to me, is an enigma. Tinubu can flow with all cadres of the society easily in 1 minute. He'll be talking to you 1 minute like an intelligentsia. The next minute, he will start talking like an agbero. First time I met him and he did that, and I was looking at him and I, really? And he did that the second time again. So which tells me that, in fact, the first time I met him, that was the day I felt convinced that this is the man we need for Nigeria now. And I think in one of my write-ups, I wrote something saying, I believe he was born for this moment for Nigeria. And I still believe that. Because now, we did 60 days in APC UK, we did 60 days of his ascension to the presidency a few weeks ago. And tomorrow, we'll be doing a virtual conference again about his 100 days in office. And there's no gainsaying the fact that the 100 days that he's been there, a lot of changes have happened in Nigeria. Those are the changes we expected in the last 8 years. That was why some of us supported the you-know-who. But we're glad now that despite everything, Jagaban stayed the course, which again tells the caliber of man that he is. And that is why he is enjoying the support he's enjoying today. So please, let us give Jagaban a big round of applause today. And again, I have to thank the Northern Powerhouse. I love that coinage. I have to thank you guys for setting up this gathering. I've always believed that people's reputation precedes them. We've heard a lot about Manchester before we saw you at the our Congress. So I wasn't too surprised about all the things that you were telling me, because it's something that we've had before. And for that, I have to say a big thank you to you guys for keeping the flag flying. Because, especially for those of us in diaspora, there were times during the last 8 years when we felt we weren't being recognized. And thank goodness for Jagaban again. Permit me, all through tonight, I'll be talking about Jagaban one way or the other. I was saying to the chairman this afternoon that the diaspora directorate that was set up during the Presidential Campaign Council wasn't set up by the party. It was set up by Jagaban himself. And we knew about that when he came to Chatham House in London. He told us things about himself when he was in America. I'm not sure if some of you were aware, or maybe you saw it on TV, when Sheung Okinbaloye was harping on Jagaban using, trying to cause trouble in Nigeria, saying you have to take power by force and run with it. I'm sure some of you must have seen it. Let me clear the air here. Jagaban was talking to us after the Chatham House event. And this is the context within which he's made the statement. It was giving us, it was encouraging us, just like I think it was you that said it, or no, it was our guy here that said it, that we here must be thinking of how to add value to our country. And that was what he was talking to us about. And he gave us his own story in America when he said when he was working with Deloitte. And he said he was told to change the way, because of the virtue of his position, he was meeting with company directors and stuff like that, chief executives of multinationals. And he was advised to change his accent. And he said, why would I do that? I'm an African. Have you forgotten? You employed me knowing fully well you know how he talks. You employed me knowing fully well I'm a Nigerian. So why are you asking me now? He was even advised to go and do, what's it called, elocution? Something they do put in your tongue, you start talking from your nose, that kind of thing. Just like my Oga did in church, and nobody understood what he was saying. Sorry, I had to go there. He said he refused. So because of that, when promotion came, he was bypassed. And he said that thing pained him to his marrows, so much so that he went to the toilet at work and he cried his eyes out. And he said it was in that toilet that he made up his mind that he was going back to Nigeria. He said, what am I doing here? My country needs me, and I need to go back there. He said that was the day he made up his mind. And he said, guess what? He said, when I got to Nigeria, could you believe Nigerians were discriminating against me? He said they told him that, yes, you have all these certificates from America and the rest of them, but you don't have Nigerian experience, working experience. He said, but guess what? He said, I stood my ground and I said, this is my father's land. We die here. That's how he talks. He said, guess what? They said, that's the reason why he is here today now, yeah, contesting for the presidency. So he was now encouraging all of us that, look, don't waste your talent. All of you are educated. Don't waste your talent here. Come back home. Look at me. I'm where I am today now because I went back home and I stuck. I stuck to it. And that was when he now said, because power is not given a la carte. You have to take it and run with it. That was the context. But some mischief makers, lazy journalists that we have in Nigeria, because there's no longer brown envelopes, they took it out of context, and they were trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. When I was watching it in my house on that day, and I was looking at you, I said, you are supposed to be a graduate, and you said you read law. How could you, get yourself, engrossed in this kind of thing? I just thought I should set that out so that anywhere you go and you hear people say that, that was the context within which the man said that. So, moving forward, I didn't come here to give you my own views. I'm just here so that we can rub minds together. How to move the Northern Powerhouse forward and make sure that we have a strong synergy between the Northern Powerhouse, we're Southern, yeah?
The London people.
And the London Massive. Let me use that language. Between the London Massive and the Northern Powerhouse, there has to be a synergy. And that is why I really, really thank you guys for inviting us. To me, it's an honor to be here. And trust me, whatever question you have, throw it out. I'm believing God that He will help me to be able to answer them. And I swear that I'll be very, very truthful. There'll be no hanky-panky. There's no hiding place. If there's anything that I miss out, I've got two of my other executives here that will be able to help her. Because for me, I said it this afternoon to my chairman, and I'll say it here again. This is the time for diasporans now to begin to shine, especially because Jagaban he told us at the Chatham House, he said something on that day. He said, I think he promised us that he was going to help, because he said he heard about our diaspora voting advocacy, and that because it's gone through the third reading before some senators decided to vote it down. So he now said he was going to help us. I think we did a virtual program on it. He said he was going to represent it now as a presidential bill. And I think I took the pain at that virtual conference to explain the difference between members' bill and presidential bill. And because it's going to be a presidential bill now, yeah, there is every possibility, higher possibility that it will scale through. Because until we have that power to vote, I don't want to say what we are doing will amount to nothing, because whether we like it or not, I've said it before, that for every one diaspora, you have at least 5 people in Nigeria who look up to you. And they say he who pays the piper dictates the tune. But if politicians in Nigeria want to deceive you, they will tell you that you as a diaspora, you have no voting power. And I'm saying, nah, lie from the pit of hell. One man, one vote, na Nigeria one day. We in diaspora here, one man, minimum of 5 votes. That's what we have. And I think that was what scared them during the diaspora voting advocacy that we did, that made them to stand it down, because they were scared that if we have the right, and trust me, na lie and they talk, we will get them. Asiwaju don't promise us, and it go make it happen. Yeah? When that happens, that is when me and you can have, because one of the things we're trying to do is, some of us have a voting card, but if you want to vote, you have to travel home. Yeah, they say politics is local. Fine, I don't doubt that. But then why do you have to spend 2,000, 3,000 just to go and vote, when you can easily do it here? Smaller countries like Togo and the rest of them are doing it. So why is the giant of Africa shying away from it? So these are some of the things that we are doing, and that's why I said we need to have that synergy, because I'm impressed with what I've heard that you guys have done now. I wasn't aware of this until tonight. And you guys have done a lot, so I don't see why there shouldn't be that synergy between us. Because when it kind of apology to those who don't hear you about, you say, make we work out together. Now in the sweet. Abi, did I pronounce it well? Okay. That was just paraphrasing, but when I get the gist, right? So, that is why that diaspora voting advocacy must happen. Then moving forward, Asiwaju too promised us on that day at Chatham House. He said, that was when he was talking about the diaspora voting thing. He said, after that, he said, though the Constitution does not allow you to vote, he said, but the Constitution does not stop him as a president, if he becomes one, from appointing you into his government. The whole world, the whole hall went mad. Because that was what everybody was itching to hear from him. So he's giving us a clue now that longer the days when you will all campaign, spend your money and everything, and at the end of the day, nothing. So which means he's now looking towards diaspora, and I believe that was the reason why he set up the diaspora directorate. It has never happened before. And that's why I'm revealing it to you now. Nobody the party set him up, na Jagaban himself. And that was why he chose Prince Adiomole to be the director. So things are looking up for us in diaspora. I'm saying this to encourage us now. Don't be despondent. Don't say, oh, we don't do them for so many years. We know they see anything. Now go. We go ripam. Ngbanu. No be so they talk for Igbo. Ngbanu. Now go. We go ripam. So, and the Bible says no consento for off you with tule. To put you into your food job alone. I can't paraphrase that in English, but I'll try a bit. This, good. Thank you very much, sir.
Best man.
So, what it means is, keep trudging on. Keep trudging on. Your effort is about to be rewarded. Now is not the time for us to be weary. If anything, if your lamp no get kerosene, now make you go carry kerosene, join and put them. Say, no be now you go down on me, because now I'm going to go, I want you, make you the shine. So I'm begging all of you, our chairman is here, whatever he's doing is for the good of the Northern Powerhouse. And that is one of the reasons why he's invited us here now, so that we can rub minds together. I'm here, and my colleagues here are here to answer your questions. I hope I will not bore you, but I will. The reason why I'm saying that is because some of the answers that I will give may be very long. The reason why they will be long is because I want you to get exactly what is really going on. Because I believe that is why we are here, so that we understand how we got to where we are, and we understand, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? That is what we are here for. So, and I believe God will see us through. Thank you so very much.
Please, can we clap for the chairman, please? It's not easy. I'm beginning to suspect my own chairman, David, and Major. Two of you planned this. I say there is no MC. So I say there is no MC. I've been looking at my time. I said this MC better come before 6. And now it's 6. We only have 1 hour to spend. So how would he come?
The mark is in love with you, don't worry.
So I say no MC.
It's coming, sir.
It's coming.
It's coming, sir.
You cannot wrestle with the Lord, though. If you want, he asked David. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I cannot thank you enough for iterating back on some of the things that Ashuaju said in Chatham House. As we were recounting them, I quickly went into my little votes to make sure that you're saying the exact thing verbatim, and I can assure you that everything you said matched with what he said that day. And one thing I will encourage Nigerians to start doing, to start holding people accountable for their words. If your words can locate you, you're not fit for office. Because that's number one thing which we haven't been able to do for a long time. As a minister of the gospel, the things that I say will locate me. So before I tell you good morning, I must make sure it's morning. I can tell you good morning in the night. So you don't rush out and say, Reverend, you just greet me good morning. That's why I woke up. So there's a logic in it. I keep to time. The time is already fast spent. We have less than 60 minutes to go. And there are matters arising face, and there are questions that we'd like to clarify or ask as well. There are other questions which a lot of people has been asking. And for me, it is better to hear from the man that holds the mantle. Are you with me, Jagaban baby? So don't ask me. He's here. When the mic will go around, ask as many questions. Because in asking questions, you will get clarity and you will get an answer. Whatever 3 of them cannot answer today, by the power of the Holy Spirit, I will answer them. If I know, I say by the power of, and he said, so if the power hasn't come by the time we finish, then we'll go home. Oh, thank you, man. So we're in the phase where we're given the opportunity to ask questions. You can ask any question like, what's in for us, the Northern Powerhouse? Okay?
My first question is, if you don't mind, my Honourable Chairman, is we would love clarity in regard to a certain Mr. Doherty, who is parading also as the APC chairman in London. He's also got a separate, which is official APC, but obviously we've seen some things in terms of things that he sent out. We want clarity so we understand, so people will, obviously this will be recorded, and so we can have clarity in terms of what is happening with him, because obviously some of us know the truth, but we'd love this opportunity to actually clarify this for everybody here as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, my chairman. First of all, let me make some clarification that I am one of the 24 that set up APC UK in June 2013. My deputy here, High Chief Chris Onumonu, is one of the 24 too. I'm glad you said this is being recorded, because it will be there for posterity. I, Adebola, will not tell you anything that is not the truth. You ask the question. Doherty was not even part of the 24 that set up APC UK, but that's not the issue here. The issue here is that he's parading himself as APC UK chairman and chairman CDC, which means Committee for Diaspora Chairman. Okay, let me start from his claim to be APC UK chairman. All of us who have been in political party here, you've been doing politics for a while now, and you know that you do not have it. Before he became a chairman, you must have some kind of election congress, right? And that congress must be in line with the constitution of the party. And what the constitution of the party demands is that that congress must be monitored by a member of the National Working Committee from Abuja. And thank goodness that some of you came to the one we did on the 1st of April this year, where I was elected the chairman. So the question is, anytime Tunde Doherty calls himself APC UK chairman, I would like you to ask him, which Congress was he chosen as APC chairman? Maybe I should just go back a little bit for you to get the picture of what really went on. When we set up APC UK chairman in 2013, I told you I was one of the 24. What happened was we were told, because we all know that APC is a combination of 4 legacy parties: APGA, ACN, CPC, AMPP. I'm from AMPP. He's from APGA. We were asked to bring 6 people each to form APC UK. Hmm? No, ANPP. Okay. No, it wasn't there then. It was much later. They joined. But I'm talking of, you know, both APC Nigeria and UK came together the same year. The Nigerian one came before us. We did our own in June. APC UK in June 2013. Yeah. Now, at that time, ACN had 2 factions. What I'm saying, quote me anywhere. They had 2 factions. One was led by Dr. Philip Idawo, and the other one was led by Dr. Ibrahim Emokpari. Now, we said we don't want to invite one and not invite the other. But then, it will be a disservice to other ones if we have to ask them to bring 6. So we said they can bring 3 to make 6 for to join with the other 18 from the other 3 parties. We held a meeting in a restaurant called Legacy Restaurant on Camberwell Road in London. We were in the basement for the meeting when we now said, okay, to choose, because you cannot have a group like that and not have a leader. So in order to choose the chairman now, we now said, okay, all the leaders of the Legacy Party should go to the ground floor and choose one amongst them to be the chairman, and the others will be co-deputy chairman. They went and came back and told us that they have chosen Alhaji Garba Sani, okay, as the chairman, and the rest of them became deputy. I have the minutes of that meeting here. I showed it to the chairman this afternoon. There was no objection to that throughout the meeting. And needless to say that was the last meeting that Idawo and the other 2 that came with him to the meeting, that was the last meeting they attended. Perhaps maybe because he didn't get the chairmanship, he stopped attending. And we now started sending the mysteries to him, because at that time what we wanted to do, as we were told from Abuja, is that we should send an application to Abuja enclosing the certificates that each of the Legacy Party got from their mother party from Nigeria. So, but because Dr. Philip Sidawo is the one who has the certificate for ACN, Dr. Emokpali did not have the certificate. He decided to pull out and went behind everybody's back and make an application to Abuja. What I'm saying, verify it anywhere. He made an application to Abuja, which was acknowledged. We were waiting for him, making emissaries, to him, sending emissaries to him to bring him back. He refused. It was when we learned that he has sent an application to Abuja with one certificate instead of 4. We now decided we have no more choice than to send in our own 2 with the 3 that we have. That was the beginning of the problem that we have in APC UK. You just heard now. And we see between then and now, we have made a series of mediation efforts. The first one was initiated by one of our members, Ibrahim Mohammed. That was in 2015. The meeting was supposed to hold in one, I can't remember, the Mayfair restaurant, I remember now, number 1 Deptford Street. I'm saying this in the camera so that everything will be for posterity. Mayfair restaurant, number 1 Deptford High Street in London. It was on a Sunday afternoon. That was the day I met Doherty for the first time, 2015. Perhaps maybe that was when he joined them, I don't know. The meeting could not hold on that day because Dr. Philip Sidawo refused to show up. Everybody else was there, including Alhaji Garba Sani himself. So because he was not there, we decided not to hold the meeting, and we now decided that we will convene the meeting another day. We now decided to look, because it's been known to be cunning, Dr. Philip Sidawo. So we now look for somebody that was very close to him to speak with him so that he can attend the next meeting, because we needed that mediation to hold so that we can have one indivisible, united APC UK. We now got this man who unfortunately is late now. Some of you may know him, Dr. Dapo Williams. He was a very close friend of Dr. Idawo. Okay. Now, this meeting, he came to that meeting just to call the next, the long story short. And at that meeting, I remember that I asked him one question. Because the reason I asked him the question was because I heard that the reason they pulled out was because they said he did not want to serve under a northerner. And because Alhaji Garba Sani was sitting at the meeting, I wanted him to repeat it. Because as a lawyer, I cannot just believe what I heard. I have to hear it from him. So now I asked him, can you please tell us the main reason why you pulled out from the original APC UK we set up? He now said to me point blank that he got an instruction from Abuja to pull out and transmute into APC UK. And that's what transmute, threw me. Because I was thinking APC Nigeria is not a transmission of ACN. So why is somebody telling you, because I asked him that same question. I said, with due respect, sir, you are a learned person. How does it resonate in your mind that somebody who does not live in the UK, who does not understand our demographics here, will tell you from Abuja to pull out of a party that has already been set up by 24 people? 3 of you should come out of it and transmute. I said, the reason I'm using that as my operative word now is because APC Nigeria is not a transmutation of ACN. You couldn't give me an answer to that. In order not to waste your time, because I'm giving only 5 minutes. We've had a series of mediation meetings like that. At that meeting, we agreed on 3-point agenda. Yeah? It was Tunde Doherty himself, yeah, who refused to say, no, it won't work. We were supposed to take a good photograph on that night. Tunde Doherty said, no. It's on camera. Now, the last, I think Baba Konde too set up mediation team twice. On both occasions, we agreed on certain things on how to come back together. The same, they will agree at a meeting. 2 days later, they will come back and say no. The last one we had was in July last year. I was sitting with Doherty like this, At that meeting, because Adeomoli was now in Nigeria, we now felt, okay, don't let us, because we were so hell-bent, because we wanted that unity to happen before the election, so that when Abuja wants to deal with us in diaspora, they will know who to deal with. Because prior to that time, people has been using that division, to cheat us. Whenever they want to do anything with diaspora, they say, then one Jamaican and they are fighting. Forget about them. Some of you, I'm sure Jamin Sowolu, who is in Lagos, will understand what I'm talking about here. Some people who are nitty-gritty to the Nigerian politics will understand what I'm saying. That was the reason why we were desperate to get all of us together. Guess what? We considered the chairmanship to them. I'm saying it on camera here, for posterity. When to their group, their faction, we considered the chairmanship to them. And we even agreed that on the ratio of 60-40. The reason we did that was because I insisted that if we are considering the chairmanship to you, the only best thing for us to do now is to do 50-50 ratio. When they did not agree, Ademoli rang me from Nigeria and said, look, we've been dragging this thing for too long. Let's agree 60 for them, 40 to us. We agreed, though. Yet, it didn't happen. And it's not because we are not ready for it. It is always because every time we agreed on something, they will renege on it. I don't want to talk to, maybe when another question comes, I will come on to it again. I think are we getting some clarity here? So these are the issues that we have been dealing with. Every time we're bending over backwards for them, simply because we want unity, we will agree. There was a meeting, a mediation meeting we held, where two of their members voted with us against them. When they knew certain truths within the meeting, they were Igbo guys. They were shocked. And so, is that what really happened? I said, yeah. So when we came to voting, they voted with us. Again, it didn't happen. And not because we didn't want it to happen. We'll have the meeting now. Somebody who was not part of the meeting amongst their members will just come back and say, no, whatever you agree with them is not binding on us. So that is what we've been dealing with. That's why I said, I'm loving it that you guys are recording it now for posterity's sake. So that person will not know before, now then go know. CDC, Committee for Diaspora Chairman, right? Which it was set up by Idawo. It is more or less like a secret court. It's only about 5 or 6 of them that are there. We have our own that we set up that encompasses every chairman. And what that means is you cannot be a member of the Committee of Diaspora Chairman unless you are a chairman of a chapter. That is why the name is Committee of Diaspora Chairman. Now, Tunde Duarte is claiming to be the chairman of CDC. Ejo, does he meet the requirement to be a member in the first place? So that tells you the mago-mago that is going on amongst them. But we are not bothered because we are doing things by the book. So that is why I believe God is on our side, and we've been, triumphing every now and then. So thank you so very much. Let me leave the floor now.
Please, can we clap? Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for clarifying once more. Like I previously said, I personally will not associate myself with something that it's not true. And if they are not true, they will be sitting down here. The APC Northern Powerhouse was there in London during the Congress. You guys clap for me now. I just put Powerhouse there. You guys, this is, I just walk. That's why I told you, Nigerian people, in every city, they have things. I just add APC Northern Powerhouse. You people didn't code. So before I digress, we were there in London, represented during the Congress. I'm a political consultant. I can ask you to go and verify. I've been honored in the last 2 years to work with 3 serving governors in Nigeria, starting from Chukwuma Soludo, Andy Uba of Enugu State, and my beautiful governor of Lagos State, Sanwo, So I've been in that circle. So there are questions that are presented to them today, and that's why they are here today. So we can capture this and play it back to the people who were coming up with this, back and forth. Politics is personal interest. But if your interest does not align with the party interests, then you don't know how to play the politics. And everybody is quiet now. Next question. There's somebody. Best man.
Once more, good evening. My name is Bestman. I live in Nigeria. And I also live in the UK. I live in Manchester. I belong to the Really, my family is there, so I come in at least once a month. My question was supposed to just be a straight question, but now, based on what you said, it's going to have two parts. The first part is this. Do you feel or do you think there are powers in Nigeria whose actions are also fueling this crisis? What do I mean? Do you think there are people giving that faction kind of support, kind of a push? Because without that, they will not function as a faction. But I've seen a letter written to Tunde Doherty, signed by the National Working Committee of the party, referring to him as the chairman, committee for the diaspora chairman. And I sent the letter to our chairman here. I've met with Tunde Doherty, I've seen him. And whenever he's in Nigeria, I see the courage. Whenever he has courage, I see the welcome around him. And I never had any iota of suspicion that there was any faction. I thought this was, this is chairman. So when it comes, even when I see that, so I stand up, I say, chairman, blah, blah. Someone that's supposed to see the room when I say, bravo. And when I see him, I say, chairman, you are kidding. And that was when I said, when I see chairman, I'll tell you, because I've actually met with him a couple of times. And that was when I lost it, I had to call him. And so I wanted to tell us that if indeed there are people, so that why do I say some of us also have power in the party? When I go back, I'm going to start the fight. If indeed he ought not to be. That's the first part of my question, which wasn't supposed to be. My original question is this. Unless anything changes, as we start today, we are with you.
Thank you very much.
Mark my words. Unless everything, but as we start today,
thank you.
We are with you. Even me, that I don't have this, I'm with you.
Thank you.
Unless I get further information contrary. I know, because politics is my interest. My interest here is that as you consolidate, as you get a recognition, and as you move on as the chairman, APC UK, will you make this team, headed by David Adioye, the APC Manchester? Because I know there are other groups in different places also meeting. But now, I want to make a demand of you that anybody claiming to be APC Manchester should be with us.
Okay.
We are not greedy. We can give them 80-20.
Thank you very much, Mike. Now, to answer the first question. Okay.
No.
Yes.
Okay, you will write it.
Please, APC Plus or APC Soft. Don't be like Best Man. Oh. You know him has 1790 for the whole states. That's why he told me personally. And everybody, all of you bear witness. He said 2 questions. I said 2 minutes. Does that look like 2 minutes? So when you're doing it, question soft too.
Well, thank you very much, and it's going to be soft anyway. Before, because why I said that is what the last person that spoke now, what he said last. Maybe it's okay, let's speak so that he can give answer to all. Because there are other groups in Manchester as well. Okay, I think we need to talk about that so that this kind of what the chairman is stood here to be explaining won't be happening again. Okay, and when we say powerhouse here, we need to consolidate it. Okay, like I said initially, I'm from actually Campaign Marshal in Manchester. Okay, and I think the chairman sitting here from Manchester as well, you have a lot of work to do before anything can be consolidated, my view anyway. Like, you need to get to other groups, okay? Because I remember before the election, you called me, we had a Zoom meeting, I think it's this group.
Yeah, that we did
it was this
global,
the global one. So I was talking
Alliance
about
support the team then.
Zoom meeting. So, you know, I wasn't knowing about them before, you told me, and I came around to say, okay, we are fighting for one cause, APC in everywhere and good governance, to be specific. Okay, now we have other groups. I think we need to gather ourselves together, become one executive, and that is when we can be the true powerhouse from Manchester. We have Liverpool, we have other, suburb. We need to come together as one. Then we'll have a voice and not a divided house. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anyone have questions? Let's get the questions and then the chairman will summarize because of time. Okay, can you give wife soft plus?
Hello, sir. Hello, my I just want to say hello to my sister here, the baby of the house, and the mighty woman in the house. Then the chairman, sir, and the fellow executives, sir, and every member present here. I am not a true politician, and at the same time, I'm a good campaigner of BOLATINUBU, because Awati, K1 Lily, yes, all the way from Ago. So, I will know what he has been doing. I will know what is going on. But truly today, I want to talk about the success of any party, the success of any nation stands on unity. I keep telling people that why Nigeria is what it is today, it is because those people that fought for the independence of Nigeria were not given time to lay out their map. We all assume this is what they want to do. This is what they want to achieve. And that is why we don't have a good roadmap that we want to follow. Assuming they were allowed to lead for just a term, if we call it a term, we will know that, yes, this is what our leaders want, and this is what they are fighting for. Gbogbo wa kan suggest again, nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe lélẹ̀, we don't have it, and we don't have that caliber of, we don't have that power that they sit on. So that is that. I want to talk about education in Nigeria, and why. If our education is fully funded, rightly funded, rightly supported, because I'm an educationist. I work with National Teachers Institute before I came back to the UK. So if we are rightly funded and we set that, yes, all those that should be students are students. You will see that, yes, we have the best talent in the world in Nigeria. I fight for Nigeria anyway. That is who I am. And I fight for Tinubu. Why? Because I know that it goes, you people that are hanging here in UK, hiding your faces, but you have this talent, you want to expect something, but you don't have that power. But he is there. If he comes to power, he's able to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you that are hiding, and he gives you that support, you are going to deliver. That is exactly what Sanwo-Olu did in Lagos State education. He went into the private sector, bring out some people, put them at the ends of affair, remove the commissionership from the deputy governor, give it to the commissioner, and you can see what is happening in Lagos State. Please, let's come together. Whether you are fractional, you are semi-fraction, you are soft, you are hard, let us come together. If it is just one project from the diaspora for each section or for each governance that you want to fund, the way Babatunde Fashola did in the education sector and in the health sector, you can see that even those people that goes to the so-called private section of the earth, they always come to the public sector to come and see the doctors there. Project. If you start doing one project now, there's nobody that will say, I don't recognize these people in the diaspora. No way. Pick a project. Me, no, but I have time. Me, Agbara, but I can work for you. If you are very faithful. If you are very faithful. Go to my section, NTI, ask about Alaja from Lagos State. My name was changed to Alaja Lagos State, NTI Lagos State, because I won't take any shit from anybody, no matter how influenced you are. I'm very small, but I know my way. Thank you. I'm very sorry.
Wow. Please, can we clap for Alaja Lagos State? One more. Before he speaks, so we don't forget, Alaja, you have spoken well. I'm super, super excited and happy because not many a times when we gathered, the woman, the mother, the sister, with summoned courage to pick up a mic, to remind us, even though we're talking about our own personal interests, there's a greater interest awaiting us. And that's why if there's a meeting and there's no motherhood in between, it worries me because you people process things beyond our own understanding. You see, me, I just want to carry my bag, go airport, enter flight, go. But now you go remind me, have you packed your boxers? Do you have the right toothbrush? That's the process, because you go with the details. Thank you very much for a great reminder. Yep.
Thank you very much. Those who have spoken well. Sometimes you may have something to ask. A part of it is coming already, and you feel a kind of confidence saying it. We know there are many factions. Just like how we have factions, even in your families and everywhere, you can't stop it. But most of us who are from this side of the northern powerhouse now, we have never had that link towards London. Now we are trying to have that link towards London. We are like a team. Like I said, I represent a team, many people. It is mostly things that I learned from here, or I get messages I get from here that I'm bringing back home. Now we are linking from different factions. What we have been trying to do has been having our own good governance as a kind of symbol, who will lead us. And those who will lead us anchoring to London must be straightforward, reporting back to us or being our either linking us towards you. I would be honest to say I represent MSG. I said it before. It's only me here. They are waiting for me to bring some messages back. MSG, Multi-Flash Support Group, we know he's coming. We've been pushing him, but we made him to lead us on the right path. He told me, told others, we will be here to see the right path, which I hope and I can see is towards you. My own question now is, apart from what others have said that you lead us straight, how our sister said now, how do you link us to him, or how are you going to cover him? What I mean is, London side is already the hub. Anybody coming, if Aswaji is coming, he comes to London. We are the side brothers. We are now claiming to be the powerhouse from the north. What are the assurances that those leading us, we've never had a candidate from this side. They always come from London, and that's why we are all down here, nobody remembers us. We are trying to pull our own candidate, making sure we give you somebody that is straightforward, whom you can look into his face. If we are getting somebody here, how will you, or how will the headquarters, let me say London headquarters, going to help bring our own son? We need something from here. It's not only the chairman, if all the chairman, one of them, no matter who, we will get something here to celebrate on, leading us towards Aswaji. We all cannot today match to him. He has a lot to do. But if you can get one of his sons from this side and say, I know one or two or three, go to your chairman, go to the right guy, talk to him, message comes to us, we will be more happy.
Good evening, everyone. My question will be brief. My first question is that I will first of all compliment based on what everybody have said. As of now, we are with you.
Thank you.
But the issue is that you have to be sincere with us. How can we help you? Because when it comes to issue personality, we have forces, we have money here in North Manchester. We have everything. We know people from Abuja. We are just giving you this honor now. If you know where we can help you, let us, we are ready to help you. If we take this doesn't focus, we can do that. If you have to raise money, we can do that. But we just have to be sincere. We are going. You have to give us that direction. We need that assurance from you. My second question is that, now, you said something. You said, maybe probably you're coming to the bicycle for the first time. We also have a lot of people that have never yet been to London before. When are you coming back again?
Oh, one more. Oh, our baby in the house. Oh, my. Hi.
All right. Well, I was just laughing all through because it looks like he's read all my text in my head. But I always have so many things to say. I think he kind of eats the nail on the head by the questions and everything that he said. And for the lady as well, she's not here, so I'm representing her. So she also said something. I introduced myself earlier as Ashiradu Baby. I don't know Ashiradu before. But there is something that I've studied about him. He's a man of strategy. There is also a plan. He's always thinking far ahead. So we can say all of those things that we want to say now. Without a plan, it's just going to be wishy-washy. Remember when I introduced myself? So whatever we're going to talk about today, we have to make sure it's structured. We have a plan. We must have a plan. What are the actions? So we're not just going to listen to your response. You have to tell us when next, what are we expecting, what do we want to do in our next meeting, or whenever we are going to talk about anything, what do we want to achieve. The lady was saying something about projects. When I introduced myself earlier, I said that I do run a charity in Nigeria. And I could tell her passion when it comes to education. Education in Nigeria, you'll be surprised how so many things are happening. But we also know that our governor, our president, is is a capable man. So we're going to let him breathe and not suffocate him. We'll see how far he could go with all of those plans. There are so many projects we could look into. Health, emergency in Nigeria is God knows what. A friend traveled recently, and the only thing that saved that person was the fact that the person could do a quick, is it CPR? And that was the only thing that saved that person. There's quite a lot of things, and if you ask me, I have so many things to talk about in terms of projects and what we can look into. I don't have to be able to execute it, but my problem is whatever we want to do, we have to implement it like somebody living in the diaspora. So we have to see a change. Everything we all have learned from our everyday life, we're going to do something with a difference. As for the faction and everything, just like somebody mentioned, there will always be fights. We all have family members and all of that. But how do you assure us, or what are you going to do to make sure that this is actually the only powerhouse in the north?
I told you people, when the women speak, everywhere was quiet, Abi. The chairman. This is yours, so.
Thank you so very much. Got a couple of questions here. I'll try and answer them as briefly as I can. But sometimes, because I'm a lawyer, we like to talk. So I may go a bit overboard, so please bear with me. Because sometimes, as a lawyer, you need to drive your point home so that people will understand what you are trying to convey. The first question was, Doherty must have people supporting him in the HQ. It's a very difficult question for me to answer because I'm a lawyer. But I will answer it this way, because we don't deal with conjecture. Because it's on record, I have to be very careful. Yes, there are signs that he has people, and I have seen documents, secret documents now that I wasn't supposed to see, but because certain policies they do, everybody know how they do in own thing. Certain things that happen there, whether they basic quality. But the fact of the matter is, one nǹkan ló tẹ́bárí ìlú tó ń jó lórí omi onísàlẹ̀ rẹ̀ ń bẹ ní ìsàlẹ̀ odò. For the benefit of those who does not understand Yoruba, you say there's a kind of leaf that we call a lulu in Yoruba. That if you see that leaf, they dance on top of river. The drummer they underneath. Does that answer your question, sir? So I did not say anything, no. I just gave you a proverb, ni. Lobaton. Number 2, will I recognize this group in Manchester? It's like asking him, does he love Jesus? Does that answer the question again? Okay. You see, about other groups, I think I spoke to the chairman this afternoon, briefly. And one thing I begged him for was to ensure that Manchester does not become another London. And I gave him reasons. And I told him a few things that we have suffered in the last 10 years. Up to the point that many times we will take 2 steps forward, 5 backwards. And I made a proverb that one ile tó bá tòrò. So because that is, when you see a house that is peaceful, the bastard for the house never grow up with that. Now you talk that one, no, not me. So, in order not to allow that to happen, I've told you some of the bend over backwards that we've done, not because we are stupid. Even if the chairman, okay, chairman will fit me. But we said,
we'll give you the chairmanship, but we have to share it 50-50. They were still not satisfied. Sorry, I'm speaking Yoruba again. When Adeomole called me and said they were suggesting 60-40, 60 for them, 40 for us, including their chairmanship. I was going to work. I was about to step on the plane. I nearly fell off. I told him, hell no. It is either, if you are considering the chairmanship, it is either 50-50 or you can go and jump in the lake. But later in the evening, because Adeomole knew I was mad, he didn't give me any answer. Later on, he called me again and started, talking to me. And I thought, okay. It gave me about looking at the bigger picture and all that, blah, 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 blah. Now, Adeomole now said the reason why he's agreeing to that is because he will now move to the BOT and be the chairman BOT, Adeomole himself. I said, okay, if that is the case, that means at least your side is covered in the equation. I said, okay, I will agree to it. And guess what happened? The ORT now came back and told us there's nothing like BOT. What we have is NAC, NEC, whatever it is he called it. And that even at that, we'll have to set up the committee first, then we'll discuss how the NAC will happen. That was what killed that. I'm talking of the mediation of last year, July now, which we wanted to do, and we bent over backwards by agreeing to cede the chairmanship to them, and agreeing to 60 to them, and 40 to us. Hey, Joe, how more bend over backwards can you go? What I'm saying to you is it's on record for posterity. In those states, we don't lie. If there's anything I've said here that is found out to be lie, come back for all the minimum. This is the gospel truth. So that was why we went ahead with our... Now, I showed them a letter this afternoon. As at 20th of December last year, the HQ, in their own wisdom, decided to merge the two groups together. I have the letter here with me. What they did was they set up a caretaker committee of 22 people.
Can we see the letter? So we just can you zoom and see the letter?
Who's going to zoom in?
Can you zoom in?
That letter was addressed to me and Doherty. I was made the chairman of the caretaker committee, and Doherty was made a member. Then somebody from his group, in order not to feel left out, was made the secretary of the caretaker committee. And the mandate that letter gave to us was, within 3 to 6 months, conduct a congress and elect our executives. 20th of December last year. So all the letter weighing they carry about is just bunkum. Now, maybe because he was not made the chairman, yeah, I don't know, but we set up a WhatsApp group because obviously if you're going to do Congress or whatever it is, you have to have a form of meeting place. We set that up. Can I tell you that immediately his name was put there, he dropped off. I'm saying it on camera now. And he asked some of his members to drop off. That was why he did not take part in the Congress. And a few days to the Congress now, he took us to court. He wanted to stop the Congress. But because the court did not grant the injunction, we went ahead and did our Congress. Now, I'm saying it on camera. All of them were there. 9 of my committee members were there with me. On that day, he only came with 2 people to court. So when the going, you say when they say when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. But he chickened out. Within 10 minutes, he wanted his name off from the case. Anyhow, we won the case, and we are still waiting for our £4,500 because me, I want pop champagne. That's the first thing I will do with that money. Now, the date because the judge gave them a date within which to pay that money. Before that date came, guess what he did? He went back to court now to do another. Meanwhile, the judge warned them on that day. The judge is a woman, very, very, very experienced judge. Because she said the reason they threw out the case was because the case was like the foolish petition that the obedience took to court. Same thing. The woman now said, though he's at liberty, they are at liberty to come back with another case, but he warned them that they should think of what exactly are you trying to benefit from this, and measure it against the cost implication that will come with it. But sorry, I'm speaking my language again. So, Piki wanted to hear what? Now, you know, that's not how you go do. You must chop K. It's in court now. We're just waiting for the court's directions now. And we are ready for them. Because as far as we're concerned, we've done our Congress, and it was done in accord. Now, in compliance with the mandate given to us here. So if he chooses not to be part of it, is that my fault? All right? He had the opportunity to be part of it, but he said no. That was why I said perhaps maybe because he wasn't the chairman, but that one in Toro, it's got nothing to do with me. The case is in court now. We will meet them in court, definitely. And both for both the 4,500 were agba. Hello, go along. I had to for me son law. I'm so used to my language. Sometimes it comes just like that. So that's where we are on that. I think you've all seen this letter now. He came back and said this letter was fake, even though his name was there. You can see at the top it was addressed to me and him, meaning the party recognized me as heading one faction, and recognized him as heading another faction. But I guess perhaps maybe because I was made the chairman, and there's a reason for that. I'm not going to talk about that here now. Okay, so I can talk to you right now. That woman was talking about no road map. That could be true before Jagaban came in. Anybody who has been conversant with the campaign will understand that his renewed hope, I'm sure you read it, yes, sir, is a roadmap. That's why it was called Action Plan. Anybody who has read it will understand that this is a man. That was why I said earlier on that I consider him, and I wrote somewhere in one of my write-ups that I believe he's the man born for this moment for Nigeria. It's because of what I read in the Renewed Hope, because it encapsulated every use in our society. And not only did he do that, he now he stated how he's going to remedy all of that. So you can't get any more roadmap than that. So that's why I said, it's true we didn't have before, but we have one now. So I hope that is clear, right? Okay. Which one again? Those leading us, assurance of carrying them along. Oh, thank you so very much for that question. And I think the leaders that I'm sitting with here will attest to that fact that we've spoken about that in the afternoon before we come here, and we're still going to have more discussion on it. In my opening speech here, I said the reason why they invited us here was for us to map out how we can have that synergy between the two of us. Because that is the only way, because for me, when they carry a couple yellow, make we work out together. Yes. Now in the good. We cannot just be London alone. Not be only London, Nigerians day. Then day Boku everywhere. I have joined Scotland chapter 2 in one of their meetings, though that was virtual. So talking about when am I coming back? Somebody asked that question. Of course, this is my second home now. Now go drive me, come on. Say, guy, you're all done too much. Because, listen, I'm impressed with what I've seen so far. Yeah? And in politics is about numbers. I was talking to Otumba and the chairman this afternoon that one of the things that we're planning to do as APC UK is to reposition not just APC UK, but diaspora as a whole at a vantage position whereby Nigerian politicians will find it hard to ignore us moving forward. And one of the ways we want to do that is for us to begin to work towards the area of policy making. And I was saying to them, I said, if you can get that done, it will do one thing. It will give us that power to be able to name our price. People who deal on policy are people who eat more, not dubiously, because you get paid on invoice, Abi?
Yes, sir. I do.
Oh, you understand what I'm talking about? Whatever you give them your invoice, because you've discussed it with them prior to that. This is what you want, this is my fee. When you finish work, this is my invoice, you pay me, that one EFCC no go chase you. ICPC no go chase you, now your sweat. You understand what I'm saying? And so many other areas, somebody was talking about projects and stuff like that. Those are the areas where we can make ourselves relevant in Nigerian politics. So there are so many other things which we will be discussing. And like I said earlier, I said something in the afternoon that we have this plan that, yes, we have APC UK, we have the one in Manchester, we have the one in Scotland, we have all over the place, but that we are still looking towards an arrowhead somewhere that we can set up, yeah? Whereby it will encompass us in London, you in Manchester, and the rest of them. And that, I think that answers the question about carrying everybody along. Because we need that umbrella, umbrella. That was what we were working on in July last year when we had our mediation meeting. That, look, if you have one indivisible house before the election, when Jagaba wants to talk to UK, they know who to speak with. But some people just don't see it that way. And that's why I keep saying, and I'll repeat it again here, there's nothing wrong in you being ambitious. I'm ambitious too, because any man who does not have ambition is a dead man. But this is where some people get it wrong. Your ambition, no matter how grandiose, must be tailored within the ambit of whatever organization that you belong to.
That's right.
Anything short of that, you are looking for trouble, yeah, and you are looking for chaos. I'll give you another example. When we merged with, because at the beginning, Prince Adeyemole was not part of us. He has his own group too. But it was when we were making overtures to every group that Prince Adeyemole decided to merge with us. Yeah? And this is the confusing bit for people like Doherty and the rest of them. As soon as he merged with us, he told us he was ready, he was interested in becoming the chairman. When Alhaji Garba Sani was going to Nigeria, he handed our own faction to me. So when we were sitting there, and he said he was interested in the chairmanship, immediately I said, you know what? I did arithmetic in my head. If you start with a drag with this man now, it could be another Idawo.
Let him take it.
Because at that time, Adeyemole was doing better than the two of us. That is the truth. Because he's an IT expert. So he has all these connections in IT and all that. He was more popular than both groups sang together. So immediately we considered to him, but we are now calling him our leader and not our chairman because we have not held a Congress. So that is confusing these guys. They thought we are the Adeyemole group. Not knowing that this is the original 18 of the, 21 of the 24 that set up APC UK. So that's the confusing bit for all of them. And we just sit down like bat with the look them. Are you following what I'm saying now? So the collective picture is what everybody should be looking at. Your ambition must not be bigger than the party you belong to. I was telling them something that was, Jagaban knew he was going to be president. He wanted to be president so badly. But he knew at the time, in 2015, that was not the time for him. So he needed a vehicle to propel him there. That was when some people were having an argument a few months ago, when somebody said, he knew Buhari was not good. I said, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. This man was a strategist. He knew at the time that the only person that could guarantee him becoming a president now was Buhari at the time, because Buhari, in the last 3 elections before then, had 12 million votes solid from the north. So he thought he's done his... Respect Ajagabano. If you don't respect them, you are dead. The guy did his arithmetic and knew, okay, by the time we add up Southwest votes to the 12 million, and plus or minus from the Southeast, plus or minus from the South-South, we're costing to victory. And that was exactly what happened. But some neophytes who knows nothing about politics will come and think, So this is what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with you having an ambition, but, excuse me, your ambition must be tailored towards the aims and objectives of your political party. The moment you don't do that, then you are calling for problem, and that is why we have been waxing stronger since Adamoli joined us. Now he's in Abuja now again. He said, okay, you know what, Adebola, go ahead. You see the dynamics there, which, in other groups, he would have said, I'm still in Abuja now, I still want to be chopping. Okay, thank you very much. So this is the issue. I will clear on that now. Let me see if I still have more. How can I help you? Okay. Thank you very much for that question. You can help in so many ways. If you have contacts in Abuja, we'd like to know who they are. We'll talk about it, and it is not something that I would like to say here publicly. It is something that I'll be discussing with your chairman. But one thing I can assure you guys is this, because we've done our Congress since 1st of April. The reason we haven't got our accreditation letter is simply because of the intrigues that have been playing out in the HQ. The former chairman, whom, if you ask me, was not fit for purpose, I make bold to say that. What's his name again? Adamu. Hello, Madamuwa. For some reason, he wasn't ready to do the needful, but thank God he's no more there. We now have Ganduje now, whom I believe is a man of integrity. We've met him, we've hosted him in APC UK when he was the first time as a governor. So we've had interaction with him in the past. So right now we are this close to getting everything done. Once that happens, trust me, everything will begin to take shape. Anybody who is not ready to conform, because once the party speaks, everybody has to conform. If you don't conform, then you are looking for trouble. So when am I coming back? Okay, I think, like I said, now go drive me. So don't worry too much about that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The time is fast spent. Mr. Chairman, you owe me 3 minutes, and I'll be charging you for that. Yeah, like I said, you owe me 5 minutes. I'll be charging you for that. Time is of an essence. Please, when you have one more question, we'll take one more question and I will welcome the Deputy Chairman for the Southeast to summarize after the last question. I will give honor to whom honor is due. I'm looking for my other mic. That's why I'm looking around. So the mic can go to my honorable councillor. Yeah, just exclusive. He will summarize. Don't worry.
Wonderful time here with you. I speak on 2 hats here. As a member, and I also speak as a politician. And I want to emphasize on Doctor's question. I've lived in Manchester for 22 years.
Wow.
When I was elected to be a councillor in Manchester, in a white-dominated area, in Trafford, one of the upper class, as we call it in Manchester. It was unbelievable. My wife said, "You will not win." what we won. And now every time I go to speak in occasions and she's there, she will laugh because I make this example. How do we help you? I was deputy chairman or deputy president, Nigerian community, during Siri Oge. I don't know if people know him. Latin Africa was our ambassador. And how we could help him was he didn't understand the power that we had in this Manchester. When we say we are the powerhouse, we are. 15 years ago, 85,000 Nigerians lived in Manchester, registered, legal, paying council tax. I know the figures because I'm privileged to sit on committees. So, we wanted to be recognized in Manchester. Illegal immigrants was only about 40,000. So we went to London, we met with Latin Africa. The Nigerian house then that was given to us by one of our members, he gave it to us for £1. £1. That house is still there now. And I'm digressing how we will help you. But since Alhaji Africa's time, we have not been able to use that property for anything. That's where we should be today. We shouldn't be here. Agreed. That house is our house for every Nigerian use. Now, let's go back to it. Now, if we have over 120,000 Nigerians in Manchester today, you should come here often. And as APC members, I'm very confident that with the leadership of my brother, Mr. David, and we can get 40,000 of those Nigerians in one room, pushing on the ideology of APC that we so love. Nigeria will hear our voice very soon. And talking about the divided house, don't worry, you have said it all. They are going to submit under that leadership because that voice is going to be heard loud and clear. Now, the way we will want to help you, sir, we are privileged, so privileged. I don't want to blow my own trumpet. We have dignitaries coming into Manchester. But we're in London, we just wanted to pop into Manchester. And by right, they have to see me. Because either you like it or not, I'm somebody you have to reckon with. With the spirit of humility, when they come and we sit and talk, they say, wow, we never believed there was a Nigerian here. And I said, well, I'm here, and now you know. And not only me now, we have a lady, we call her Iwopere. She's now also a councillor in Salford. After me, there's been 6 Nigerians that's won election here. I broke the ice. So please come. And we have the numbers to support you. And I'm sure that as you come more, you meet more dignitaries here, and we will all speak in one voice. Projects are going on. I'm sure we have my sister here doing her own NGO in Nigeria. In Ogun State, where I come from, we've done vast projects, giving in the name of APC. And I've never collected a penny from the party for doing what we do, but we have been championing on our leader, Alhaji BOLATINUBU. And not to take our time, we from Manchester will have a voice, a project that people will recognize to say, oh, the diaspora from Manchester has come to do this. And with your leadership from London and the support of our leader in Manchester, I'm sure you will be able to do it all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me just get to my point. The chairman, my chairman, Barrister JK, Chairman David, Reverend Francis, Ayo, those that came to pick us up. Otumba. Okay, Reverend Otumba. We are very grateful to be here. All of you have done very well. You must have heard what my chairman has said. This is the first time since we started 2013 that we opened up. I've never ever seen where we hide it. This is the first time we decided to open up. And why we open up? Because of the way you received us. So we remain grateful. There are a few things I need to point out that carried us along to be here. I know, as Reverend said, that we are running short of time. I just want to, point out a few things that will guide you the way it has guided us for the last 10 years. Be truthful to each other. Me and Barrister J.K. met in 2013, and we're still together. It's going to be tough. The journey for the next 5 years, 10 years for this team, you look at the faces you have now, will be tough. Some of you will lose their jobs. Some of you will have private problems. But the only thing that can keep you together is checking out on each one of you. Some of you will join the team and leave the team. It is the responsibility of the secretary, that's him, to call the person and say, why are you leaving the team? What is happening? Now, on monetary part, all fingers are not equal. I'm just telling you how we have succeeded. That you are doing it today, it doesn't mean you will do it tomorrow. If somebody cannot be able to do it, help along. Our executive, all the money, thousands of pounds we've been spending financing many projects, we are doing it. We have never taxed our members for the last 10 years that they have to do this. They only pay their subscription. So I'm just telling you the nitty-gritty of it. This one, Barrister J.K. didn't touch it. But I'm just telling you the reality of it. Because if these are not touched, it will happen. There will be in between fight. But what matters is David's job is to keep peace. Let go. If somebody is fighting in the forum, it's somebody's responsibility to call the person outside the forum and say, calm down, let it go. It will happen. These are what we have been experiencing for the last 13 years. As he mentioned, when Prince Adamole came, he told me, because by then 2 of us were co-leaders. And he said, he's better than us. One of the things I wrote here that I have to tell you is, you are asking us when things come, we should let you know. Do you know what we do in London? When any opportunity comes with APC, there are things we can't say in the camera. We give it to the best. We don't believe in chauvinistic. We don't believe in derogatory. We are not, look, he's a Yoruba, I'm an Igbo, he's a Yoruba. We don't believe it has to go. Like we talk of Alaji Garuba, we talk of Ademola, so we have strategy we play. If we ask you for anybody, give us the best. That person we go and do, we have Mustafa, we know why he's there. And we know what he's done for us. Not that because he's my brother, you take him and put there. That's Nigerian way. We have all been westernized.
It's true.
You understand? This is how we've been operating in London. So I would like you to consider all I'm saying, because we are talking with experience. We have experienced all this. Now, coming to distractors. When you have distractors, if you can't manage them, let them exit. There will be distractors. Those that will come, they want to scatter the party. They want to scatter the team. Let them exit. So I would like you to make time, encourage your chairman, be behind him. Don't fight with him in public. Don't. Don't fight with him in the forum. Don't. Call him private. Give him the respect he deserves. fighting him in the public, the new members will pick up on that immediately and start disrespecting him. Don't. These are what has been carrying us along. We have plans. The best of it is those that came to London, they strike at the right time. You are going to come now and eat what we have suffered the last 10 years. So what I'm saying is we appreciate you guys having us, and we believe we'll try to come again, and please keep working together, and we look forward to come and meet you guys, and when you guys come to London, we'll see again, and we'll bear you in our mind. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Mine is just a very good one. We've won the election in Nigeria. Last Tuesday, we won the court case. Now the time to party. We are celebrating these victories. So on October 1, we are having a big party in London. I want, on behalf of my chairman and my Manchester chairman as well, I'm inviting all of you to please come and jolly with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We won't round up today if we don't call one of our brother who has made it all the way from Nigeria. Even before he boarded the plane, the Holy Spirit tells me he's coming, you know. And when he showed up, I gave him the mic. He said, "How do you know I am coming?" I would like us to hear from our brother Jermaine Sanwo-Olu. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's quite insightful, you know, all we heard today, and I really appreciate the sincerity and honesty displayed here. But mine is just to say, keep on doing the great work you're doing. But you know, as a Lagosian, and I'm sure we are many here, either by association or by affinity, you know, I want these Alan Babas of Manchester, this the APC modern powerhouse, to remember that Lagos is the center of excellence, the city of aquatic splendor, the startup capital of Africa, the home of Africa, the home of Nollywood.
And yet,
a greater Lagos is still right. So, I want you to know that we have a governor who is committed towards progressivism. Under the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, and he's committed to diaspora inclusion. And he wants to see every diaspora invest and get return on their investment. We are not just asking you what can the diaspora do for Lagos. It's what can Lagos do for the diaspora. That is our own paradigm shift in what we're doing right now. Already I had an interview, you can check diasporanews.ng, where I interviewed the MD CEO of the Lagos State Building Investment Company, Mr. Toby Lawal. And he spoke about 17 landed properties for mass housing projects that the diasporans can tap into. Commercial, residential, agricultural land that is available for you. A lot of hospitals, a lot of projects that you can come and implement. Ogun State is the gateway city. But you know, we are the center of excellence. So I will encourage you to bring some of that investment. Share it with us, as you said, 80-20 or 60-40. In fact, we don't mind 50-50. You know?
The state governor came to Manchester to partner with us.
Okay, the Lagos State governor is on his way. You know, he sees the power of what you are doing.
He's on his way to Manchester.
He's on his way.
To Manchester.
Either by emissaries or university. He's on his way.
So do we get first chop? First chop. Can he come here?
Can he come to Manchester?
Yeah.
I will take this comment back to him and tell him that there are over 120,000 Nigerians in Manchester. APC stronghold, full-blood Nigerians, you know, over 6 councillors. you know, also here.
Remember, you're also from Manchester as well. So
Yes, I'm Manchester by extension. Manchester did a lot for me, you know. I owe a lot of my success in the UK to this city. The pastors here and to the people here that supported my business, Diaspora PR back then, and I still love I'm a Mancunian by extension, so we are one. Even though I don't support any football team, but I love it. I love Manchester, and I said,
we have to integrate you.
yes, I'm willing to be integrated. In essence, what I'm saying is that please do bring your investments. Lagos State is ready to support you. We have a cook club that spent 21 days in Lagos. They brought over 70 people to come and do medical missions. The government supported them with hotel accommodation, supported them with logistics and security. No other state can do that. We are ready for diaspora partnership. And I'm asking you, bring your investments to Lagos. You are guaranteed to get a return. Not just charity, you will get return on your investment in Lagos. So Lagos looks forward to hosting Manchester. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's nice hearing that from you. And I'll be looking forward to your suggestion that the governor will come. And let me just quickly announce we are privileged that on first week of December, the Edo State government are coming here for the first time for their environmental summit. And I'm hosting them. We talked, first week, I've actually invited the chairman as well. He spoke to me a few weeks ago and said, can I make it happen? And I said, yes. We're happy to bring the experts in Manchester to train them, and we're going to show them how we generate power in my little constituency in Carrington for the whole of Manchester. And they will be learning how we make Manchester greener. You don't see the pollution that you see in London and Manchester, and we're not charging you for driving here. It's because we're doing the right thing. And it's not going to happen. We will never charge you in Manchester.
And that's why it's called Greater Manchester.
It's called Greater Manchester. We are very great.
Greater Lagos.
Yes. So we welcome you. We are privileged, Chairman, sir, from London. We are privileged, sir, to have. I will look into that as a priority, sir. So we are going to welcome you at any point in time.
Okay.
And we'll be looking forward to seeing you soon.
I think that idea will be good for Lagos because Lagos needs to be good.
Thank you, everyone. I think we've come to the end of this matter, but this matter have an extension. And before we say the closing prayer, I would like us to acknowledge the presence of our First Lady, Mrs. Abisola Adeoye. David cannot function without Abisola. Say something. Amen. Please, let us close. Let us pray at the same time. Almighty and everlasting Father, we thank you, we honor you, and we glorify your name. It's not by accident that we're all here today. Today has been predestinated before we even showed up in this space. Most especially, Father, we thank you that today has happened. It has come to pass. Father, as we return back to our various abode, may the Spirit of God continue to guide every one of us. And as he lift up the light of his countenance, he will bless and will favor us in the mighty name of Jesus. And the Nigerian community in the greater Manchester and London and everywhere else they may be in the United Kingdom,